Although not officially designated as such, Avengers movies have always been etched in the minds of audiences as significant milestones in the Marvel Cinematic Universe (MCU). It's been 5 years since Endgame concluded, and we have yet to see another Avengers-centric film. Beyond the anticipation lies the chaos within the Multiverse Saga, leaving fans struggling to envision the future direction of the Avengers projects. So in today's video, let's recap all the rumors surrounding the Avengers projects and the individuals connected to the Avengers in the MCU. With the loss of Kang, how will Kevin Feige manage? Where are Doctor Doom and the X-Men in this mix? Let's find out in today's video. Let's go! Given the current turmoil, it's hard to believe that Marvel's original plans for Avengers 5 and Avengers 6 were meticulously detailed before a series of unfortunate events occurred. COVID-19, strikes, poorly received films, and most notably, the removal of the great villain Kang the Conqueror due to Jonathan Majors' violent scandal have all played a part. To illustrate how sluggish the Multiverse Saga has become, we need only compare the timeline to Marvel Studios' groundwork for the Infinity Saga. The battle with Thanos took 11 years to develop, with Phase 1 spanning for years to introduce characters in the longest phase. However, it may take another 7 years from Endgame before fans see the Avengers return. Originally, Avengers 5 and 6 were planned to follow the concept of both Infinity War and Endgame as a complete story split into 2 parts. The setup was similar, with superheroes being brutally defeated by the villain, forcing them to learn how to stand up and embody the true meaning of Avengers. In reality, Jonathan Majors did not go to jail, as some fan pages sensationalized, but was placed under house arrest and ordered to participate in a rehabilitation program for his assault charges. Although the lawsuit has left significant doubts on internet forums, Marvel Studios decided to fire him. This means they will have to recast Kang the Conqueror or completely alter their original vision. If the latter option is prioritized, which is 99% likely, it indicates that simply changing the actor wouldn't be enough to solve the issue. Marvel Studios will have to start from scratch under tight time constraints. They might also have to discard the post-credits scene of Quantumania, where Ant-Man set up a council of kings ready to fight for their own dominion. Recently, leaker Cryptic for Quoll shared that Marvel Studios initially wanted to form an alliance between Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara, and a Kang variant. This relationship would be mutually beneficial, with Miguel possessing knowledge of the multiverse and Kang having technological resources. However, Sony rejected this ambitious idea. Now, with Kang's situation, such plans seem trivial and irrelevant. Since the court ruling, Marvel has had to overhaul the entire release schedule for the Multiverse Saga. They have even ruthlessly abandoned some promising projects they once cherished to invest all resources into the next 2 Avengers films, or perhaps to polish their productions to avoid future disasters. For Avengers 5, originally titled Kang Dynasty, the issue is that Earth-616 currently lacks an actual Avengers team. Tony Stark is gone, leaving the superhero squad without a leader and a benefactor. We saw Wong meet with Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner at the end of Shang-Chi to analyze the 10 Rings. However, this was implicitly confirmed to be just friends and allies exchanging knowledge, not representing the Avengers or any specific organization. If we were to force a lineup, the current Avengers team would include Captain America, Captain Marvel, Falcon, Hulk, Wong, Valkyrie, Shang-Chi, Ant-Man, and the Wasp. Hope Van Dyne's inclusion might be controversial since Evangeline Lilly recently announced her departure from acting. She hasn't slammed the door on a Hollywood return, but it won't be now or during the remainder of the Multiverse Saga. Content-wise, there are 2 main theories about what might happen in Avengers 5. The first is that the film will follow an Earth-based development, focusing on the battle on Earth with multiverse connections only coming into play at the end. This setup is feasible because it would establish the new Avengers team before leading them to a collective awareness of the catastrophe in Secret Wars. Meanwhile, the MCU will undergo a significant upheaval after Captain America, Brave New World and Thunderbolts hit theaters. Humanity has been in a military arms race since Secret Invasion, with the super soldier serum becoming somewhat outdated. Now it's the age of vibranium, where every square meter could harbor a superhuman with incredible destructive power. Based on these rumors, Avengers 5 is predicted to adapt one of two events: Avengers vs. X-Men or World War Hulk. Since X-Men seems rather far-fetched, I'll address that separately later. As for World War Hulk, it seems quite fitting given that Sam Wilson's Captain America film will reintroduce elements from the Incredible Hulk 2008, along with the debut of Red Hulk, portrayed by General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Besides storyline rumors, the characters expected to appear in the next Avengers movie are also generating significant interest. Peter Parker will continue to gain popularity, but not as an official Avengers member. A fourth Spider-Man film will explain how Tom Holland's Spider-Man gets entangled in troubles once again. The duo of Loki and Sylvie, who play crucial roles, are expected to appear in all remaining Avengers films in the Multiverse Saga, including Avengers 5. However, as previously mentioned, if the project follows an Earth-based storyline, these narcissistic gods might only make a grand appearance in the post-credits scene. Captain Marvel, Valkyrie, and Bucky Barnes are also expected to return. Bucky Barnes is still tied to Captain America and Thunderbolts, so his involvement is not surprising. While Carol Danvers and Valkyrie roles remain unclear, the decree to hunt aliens on Earth will directly impact New Asgard. A few months ago, Marvel Studios reportedly received an ultimatum from Disney not to develop Captain Marvel 3 and Ant-Man 4. The poor performance of these two projects has shaken public confidence in the franchise. It seemed like this would be a significant blow to Carol Danvers' role in the MCU, but many leakers disagree with this notion. According to them, the vision for Captain Marvel remains intact, with her focusing on researching the origins of Kamala's bangle and finding a way to harness its power to bring Monica Rambeau back. This approach allows the writers to integrate Brie Larson's character into Avengers movies, regardless of whether it's a battle against the X-Men or World War Hulk. Additionally, Doctor Strange will not be participating, and I'll explain the reason for that later in the video. Avengers 5 was initially scheduled to enter pre-production in early June, but Kevin Feige is still struggling to find a director. It's safe to assume the project might not hit theaters by 2026. A few weeks ago, reliable reports suggested that director Sean Levy was in talks for the role, according to Deadline. The man behind Deadpool and Wolverine seems to have impressed Marvel's top brass with his talent. Unfortunately, Sean is expected to spend the upcoming period developing his personal Star Wars project, as Lucasfilm recruited him once the COVID-19 situation was under control. If Avengers 5 changes and is reoriented as a standalone story, Avengers 6, or Secret Wars, will likely be split into two films to maintain the alternating structure of Infinity War and Endgame. This leads us to another reliable piece of news from Deadline, which reveals that the largest MCU project ever will feature over 60 different Marvel characters from across the universe. Unlike the previous era, the new group of characters will be on equal footing, allowing the film to be more cohesive and truly serve the fans with genuine dedication. Deadline didn't specify which Avengers movie would feature these 60 characters, so anything could happen. It might even be Avengers 5. Content-wise, an event as grand as Secret Wars would be too expansive for a single movie. According to rumors, Marvel Studios will introduce more than one central villain. Besides the comic series Secret Wars, which is an obvious reference, leakers also suggest that Kevin Feige will draw inspiration from Avengers Assemble and Avengers Forever, written by Jason Aaron. Speaking of villains, Doctor Doom is likely not going to be the final boss of the current Multiverse Saga. The issue here isn't about his suitability, but rather that Doom deserves a long-term journey in the cinematic universe instead of just a post-credit teaser. Personally, I think making Doom the main antagonist for the next 3 Avengers films would give him a story arc comparable to the emotional depth of Loki in the MCU or the grand journey of the Mad Titan Thanos. Lastly, Wong will play a significant role in forming the new Avengers team in the MCU, essentially recruiting for the Secret Wars battle. There could be as many as 4 films tagged with the Avengers label in the remainder of the Multiverse Saga. Kate Bishop, with significant help from mutant Kamala Khan, is expected to take on the leadership role for the Young Avengers. Considering the current timeline, a Young Avengers film would fit perfectly into the release schedule just before Chris Hemsworth's final outing in his 5th Thor movie. The Young Avengers will be closely linked with the Vision series. Yes, that's right, White Vision, who left Westview and has been Mia ever since. In this project, White Vision's loneliness and longing for family warmth drive him to create Virginia, Viv, and Vin. The series will also conveniently set the stage for Ultron's return, a long-standing villain whom fans never tire of. In the past, there have been numerous speculations that Avengers 5 would be reworked into a showdown between the Avengers and the X-Men. Here, the patched-up Avengers team from Universe 616 would clash with the X-Men team from the universe where Monica Rambeau got trapped at the end of the Marvels. This direction would undoubtedly guarantee billions in box office revenue and help Marvel Studios address the situation with Monica Rambeau, a character initially planned for a standalone project that was later cancelled to serve a larger narrative. According to various sources on Twitter, Monica's misplacement is the main cause of all the turmoil. She comes from Universe 616, and her arrival at the X-Mansion inadvertently accelerates the incursion event. In terms of concept and theory, the studio will explain this through the journey of Doctor Strange and Clear. Whether the X-Men universe is the same as the one portrayed in the 2000s by 20th Century Fox will be answered soon by Deadpool and Wolverine. In summary, the Avengers will clash with the X-Men through the incursion event, which will act as the catalyst for all the drama in Avengers, Secret Wars, naturally. The incursion doesn't discriminate, so not only will two technological universes collide, but other universes could also be drawn into the conflict. The Cosmic Circus has fueled this rumor further by suggesting the inclusion of Universe 617, home to Defender Strange, whose corpse has yet to be returned to its original universe. Then there's Universe 838 of Supreme Strange, where both MCU's Strange and Wanda were lost for days. Third is the universe currently being ravaged by incursion, where Sinister Strange resides. And finally, the universe that prompted Clear to confront Doctor Strange in the post-credit scene of Multiverse of Madness. Once expected to lead the Multiverse Saga, taking on the mantle left by the original trio, the Supreme Sorcerer has struggled to fulfill his role as the connective tissue for the multiverse narrative since Phase 4 began. Events in No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness are notable, but have largely been confined to the concept of incursion. The way the What If series explores the character shows that Doctor Strange from the Sacred Timeline has immense potential for development, particularly his moral gray areas, transforming him into a magnet for disaster, deviating significantly from his original noble intentions. Witnessing the crimes he has committed across the multiverse could lead Strange to reassess his heroism. However, this internal conflict and his attempts to avoid mistakes might make him more authoritarian, likely resulting in continued chaos. In the remainder of the Multiverse Saga, Doctor Strange needs to play both hero and villain roles. Despite this, there has been no official announcement of a third film. If Marvel Studios decides against another solo outing, Avengers 5, 6, and 7 will need to be led by the Supreme Sorcerer. Only then will the character's story receive the investment needed to feel complete. Without this, it would be a disappointing journey for both fans and Benedict Cumberbatch. And that's everything you need to know about the Avengers projects currently being developed by Marvel. Did we miss any information? Leave your comments below so we can discuss further. See you in the next videos. Movie Honey out!